Hello guys, Joe with BitRage. So I want to give you a quick update on Bitcoin. We've broken out of this descending falling wedge type pattern, and we've done that impulsively. Because we've done that impulsively, there's a couple scenarios that we can look at for the future. So on the 4 hour, we can see we've had the impulse up, we've had a correction, we've had another impulse to the upside. And what is forming right now is more of a correction to move back up. At this stage, that's what we're seeing. But I have the trend line in here, this ascending trend line, so that you can use that as a guide. So we do have a potential sell setup in this. So if you look at it like this, we could easily break to the downside here, come back for a third touch down here at this intersection, and then get that buy to run back up. So as far as targets go, there are a couple things that I would look at. So since we broke out impulsively, I'd be looking at this area here as a target, and also this area here. These are two key areas. So if we get here and we see any kind of rejection, either a price action pattern or a candlestick pattern, that's going to be a good indication that this run is going to be a little bit shorter lived. So how could this form? What could this form into? If we do get to one of these areas and let's say reject off, what would that give us? So if we did move up from here, say we got the buy out of this pattern, got a correction, another buy, and then formed some ascending nature here, and then sold back off. Maybe we go to here, and then we move back up, and then maybe we sell again. What that would give you is more of this kind of pattern. And if I zoom out here, you can see what we have in this case is just a bigger bear flag continuation to the downside. So we could get that if we get the rejection there. What happens if we don't get a rejection here and it plows straight through it? Well, then we'd be looking at this area here. And the reason why we're looking at this is we saw a double top back here. And so it is possible for us to see a rejection here, either ascending nature or a clear candlestick pattern to reject off of that. So as far as candlestick patterns go, what we're looking for is if we do get to this area and it's very impulsive, if we see an impulsive candle straight up through and then a retracement, a bearish candle that retraces the entire move, that's going to be a good indication that this may not be going any farther and that this is the rejection. With these kind of candlestick patterns, it's important to utilize them at areas such as a double top or at the top of a pattern, at the top of structure, at the bottom of structure, with a pattern or structure. The reason for that is we can have these candlestick patterns all over the place. And if they're not at an area such as structure or let's say a double top area, they may not prove to be as reliable as you might think. But if we do get it here at a key area like this, it is going to be very, very good. So here on the 4 hour, what we're looking for to take this as a buy is just price action here on the trend line. So a flag right on the trend line would be great. Then we get that buy out of it. That's going to be very, very reliable. The other scenario we could get is, like I said, we have this potential sell setup. If we do get a sell setup, it's corrective down to here. We get the buy here at the intersection of the trend line and the pattern. This would be essentially the third touch on this pattern. It'd be very, very high probability to see this break to the upside. What would give you a sell setup? Let's say we don't get the buy and it gives us a sell setup. So what would give you a sell setup at this point is if we did get a move down, but then we did get the buy, but then it just starts correcting like this, right? Right on the trend line, starts correcting like that. That's going to give you the indication that, okay, this buy is not going very far at all. So those are a couple scenarios. The most likely scenario at this point would be to sell down to here, get that third touch in the buy. But we do have to be aware of, if we do get the buy, but then it just turns straight into corrective ascending nature, this buy is not going very far. If we, let's say, break out of here like this and start forming that, that's going to give you a buy setup as well, using this trend line here as a guide. So if it does break the trend line, don't write the trade off. So let's say we do move like this, and it just breaks the trend line and continues to move like this. We don't know how far it could go, but breaking the trend line doesn't mean anything. How it breaks is the most important. Does it break and still retain structure? Does it break and still remain corrective? If it still remains corrective, the trend line means nothing, and the pattern is what the market is responding to. That's a good tip for you. So that's what we're looking for with Bitcoin from here. I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter simply because TradingView is acting up and I've had to refresh it like 5 times for the video here. So I'm going to cut it off here. That's what we're looking for. Here are the targets that we're looking for. If we get corrective nature at any of these points, that's going to give you your indication that that may be holding as a double top area, and we may see this come back to the downside. But as of right now, it looks like we're forming more of a flag type continuation to the upside. Just watch that. Make sure it forms correctly. If we do get the third touch on the bottom and then a clear rejection off of that, that's going to be a really nice buy to take. But make sure that you're managing that properly. But that's pretty much it. If you have a question, leave that in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Take care now.